Welcome to the introductory video in the series, The Conventions, Bedrock of the Classification. This is based on a book I've written entitled The Conventions to the Point. I'm Kathy Isbell, your coding instructor, and I thank you for joining me for this video training. Coding seems like such an attractive career, especially when you consider the perks of working from home and flexible schedules. Don't be fooled though. This is a profession and certainly not one for the faint of heart or mind. Before you can even remotely hope to have a successful coding career, you need to learn to apply the conventions of the ICD-10-CM classification to complex clinical documentation. Without a complete understanding of these foundational elements, you will be lost trying to navigate the more than 74,000 codes in our code set. Aside from the codes and their clinical descriptors contained in the classification, the conventions are the single most important component of the ICD-10-CM. Without them, all we would have would be a very long list of diseases. The conventions provide the framework and structure necessary to create cause and effect relationships, assign sequencing hierarchies, and support all the other code selection decisions that we make every time we enter a code into a billing system. Have you ever enjoyed watching a home makeover where the owner strips the house back to the joist and the studs before beginning the process of remodeling? When the demolition is complete, and there is nothing left but the foundation and framework, the house still stands because all the supporting structure is still intact. It's the same with the classification. When you strip it all back, you will find that the conventions are the supporting structure. And the classification needs nothing else in order to stand. This is precisely why the conventions of the classification are number one in the hierarchy for coding decision making. All successful coders know where they cut their teeth: on the conventions. The official coding guidelines are written to complement the conventions. In other words, to give us instruction on how we are to use them. These guidelines are not the conventions themselves, nor do they take precedence over them. They're just the owner's manual. The definition of the conventions says it best. The conventions for the ICD-10-CM are the general rules for use of the classification independent of the guidelines. These rules are built into the classification in both the alphabetic index and the tabular list as instructional notes that give us directions on who, what, where, why, and how. Applying the conventions becomes second nature to experienced coders. We scarcely even think about the conventions until we run across something unfamiliar that requires a little deeper look. Unfortunately, the repetitious nature of our work can also breed complacency, and that is what we witnessed in the aftermath of the ICD-9 to ICD-10 transition. Because the coding was not quite so nuanced compared to ICD-10, many ICD-9 coders had lost sight of the fundamentals, and when confronted with a new classification, struggled to gain their footing. Some never did. From an auditor's perspective, I saw this deficiency early on and made the conventions a major focus of our ICD-10 education efforts. I gave several presentations to state and regional meetings on the topic and heard the same thing everywhere I went. Our coders really need this training. Trust me on this. Without the ability to accurately apply the conventions, you are wasting your time in this business. You will be too stressed and too unhappy. In this training, I want to give you some common sense explanations and instructions that will enable you to do that most important task in coding: accurately apply the conventions in your coding decisions. Now make sure you have your PDF copy of the guidelines open as we begin our study in Section 1A in the next video. See you there.